And let's come to all fours. Separate your knees wide, bring your big toes to touch, and take your hips back any amount that feels good. And then you could bring your elbows down if that's appropriate. You might be swaying, or you might want to be still. And then stack your hands and let your forehead rest. And think of rocking your forehead a little side to side, either on your hands, or you could use a block. And then really any way you'd like to get to standing is fine. If you'd like to go through downward dog, turn your toes under, take your weight towards your heel or towards the balls of your feet. Your heels don't have to come down, and really root through your knuckles and finger pads, looking between your legs. And then walk your hands towards your feet, please. Bring your elbows up to your thighs and bend your knees. So elbows on thighs, bend your knees. So your spine can come pretty much parallel to the ground. And take your weight back towards the horseshoe shape of the back of your heels. And feel that rooting towards the earth. And then as you move your hands up onto your thighs, keep your knees bent, your buttock bones, your sitting bones back, and start to lift the pit of your belly. And walk your hands higher and higher. Take your time. Lift the pit of your belly and think of your kidney. In fact, bring your hands onto, keep your knees bent, but bring your hands onto your lower back, right where you imagine your kidneys are. And think of that spot, like guide it down towards the horseshoe shape of your heels and start to stand further into your feet. So you're standing up more, guiding your lower back towards the back of your heels. And feeling your weight really shift into the back of your heels, that horseshoe shape, and that lengthening down through the backside of your body. And then the front of your heels, right before your arches, feel them rooting down and kind of your inner thighs going towards them. Then spread out your toes. And as you spread your toes, feel them widening towards the earth, let them come down, and feel the ball under your big toe and the ball under your little toe. And when we feel more connected to the earth, we have more opportunity to feel spacious and rise up through our upper body. So start to take your arms up and keep your focus on your feet. Keep your focus on your feet, arms coming up. Think of, again, your kidneys connecting with the roots through your heels, and those roots starting to go forward. You can think of all beings, right? Or connecting to a particular being if you'd like. And then start to take it into side bend and swaying. So you're swaying through your upper body and you're really rooting through your lower body. And it doesn't matter what position your feet are in, whatever's going to help you feel the most rooted, the most grounded, the most connected to the roots of all the other beings, right? If you think of those tendrils growing down from the soles of your feet to the earth and then spreading out, and those tendrils kind of connecting underground with all the other beings everywhere. Take your arms really wide, breathe in, and breathe out, wrap your arms around you, give yourself a hug. And breathe in and open, and breathe out, wrap your arms around the other arm on top. And we're going to do this a few more times. All right, and then the action is when you give yourself a hug, keep that feeling of your lower back connecting with your heels, and inhale and imagine taking off your sweater. So your elbows come up and then you open and then you exhale the other arm on top. So this is the action now. Right, open, take off your sweater and then wrap the other arm on top. We'll do that a few more times. And now imagine that this isn't coming from your arms, but you've got like the center back of your heart. Center back of your heart is leading and guiding the movement. And then energetically, you can imagine that beyond your fingers, like maybe there are these ribbons of energy, right? And you're waving them around as you do this. And I'm exaggerating my breath. You don't have to. One more time. And we'll breathe in and reach way up. Breathe out and make your way forward. Fingers to shins or thighs. So you'll breathe in, lift your heart, look up and lengthen. Breathe out and walk it out to either all fours or downward dog. And then we're all coming to child's pose.